welcome to the Wodcast,
where we explore the power and beauty of words.
We're your hosts. I'm Ben.
And I'm Mabel.
And today we have the joy to sit down with musician and poet Hak Baker.
Let's get into the words. So, Hak Baker.
Hey.
Thank you for joining us at the Wodcast, where we explore the power and beauty of words.
Lovely. I'm happy to be here.
It's a delight to have you. So your music, it defies genre. It takes us to a punk edge. It has the soulful reflection of folk, the raw energy of rap and grime, and the way you wield words to create entirely new emotional, complex landscapes is just remarkable. So we are so excited to dive into words with you today.
Well, that's quite the entrance. I really appreciate it.
Well deserved, Hak.
Thank you.
So our first question is, what is your word of the day?
My word of the day is shenanigans. Shenanigans, yeah. It's one of my favourite words. I feel it like describes me and my friends and my circle for the past 25 years, I'd say. It's always been shenaniganful, yeah. So I say that's my word of the day, yeah.
Do you know where shenanigans comes from?
It feels like Old English. It feels fun. It feels, for me, it's like, I don't know the time period. I dare not say, but like, it feels like 18. I don't know, no idea. But for me, it feels like 1800s or something like that. Dancing around the streets of London, shenanigans. Right? Am I kind of right? Am I near? Am I wrong?
We'll find out. We'll do some research.
In post.
We'll do some post research.
Okay, cool.
But first I was going to ask, how would you define shenanigans, or what does it mean to you?
Shenanigans isn't got cruelty in it. It's just like the girls and the boys just dancing through, getting away with what they can get away with. You know, it's not done in a hurtful manner at all. It's done in a quite mischievous, clever manner. But it's just a way of life to get through life, I'd say. Shenanigans.
A cruelty-free word. I like that.
Yeah, definitely.
That's beautiful.
I think that's how I try to live, is very cruelty-free. You know, I'm definitely against the powers that be. I hate that. You know, it's always on a task to like separate people. But like, so I will do what I have to do to get my leg up. I'll get a one up amongst the people. So.
And when you were young, was there a word or a series of words that inspired you into that way of being, thinking?
I think it was just like the music I was listening to. Reggae is always like against the powers, and I'm from old East London, so I was always seeing tricks of the trade happening, you know, in plain sight. And things wasn't easy. So you just had to get by to get by. But as I said at the start, cruelty-free. Yeah, I don't believe that people should be hurt in order for you to get your way, you know. And if that's ever happened, and if anyone's ever done so, I feel, you know, then punishment is due, and you take what you do, and you come out and you smile.
Beautiful.
And you mentioned Old East London. Is that where Cockney rhyming slang is?
Yeah, Cockney, where they say, around the sound of the Bow Bells, you have to be born around the Bow Bells, you know. I was actually not born. I was born in Luton, but by the time I was 1 year old, I was moved to the Isle of Dogs, which is like East London, East End. So it was just the language that I was brought up amongst. Although I was like doused heavily in Caribbean. Everything was Caribbean-esque with my mum and my family and my dad and whatnot. But on the streets outside, there was always this language, this rhythm, these rhymes and this jovialness that was happening. And I was just hypnotised by it. And I just became a product of environment, and hence who I am and how I sound and how I act and how I dance. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And something that comes through so strongly for me in your lyrics is this dance between chaos and calm.
Yes.
And like vulnerability and strength. And I just love the way you hold that paradox in your music. Is that from those early years?
Yeah. I guess I was probably the last generation of young people that would literally go out and live. We left a few of us was leaving our homes from like 14, 15 years old. And we felt that we had the power and the strength and the knowledge that was passed down to us from our parents and the community. We had hope in the community then, so elder people would look after us and lend a helping hand to us. And if we was misbehaving, they would tell us and whatnot. So we went out and we felt that we had the strength, but we also probably didn't have the emotional maturity to maintain ourselves. So we depended on each other a lot. Bounced off each other a lot, and I think there goes the seance of between the girls and the boys at that time. It was just like a dance of chaos and calm, as you said, and feelings and hopefulness and sadness, but we was all just leaning and bouncing off each other, ricocheting off each other per day to how we would survive. And if we could smile that day, our friend would try and make you smile or share their food with you or share their drink with you or whatever. So it was that, and I feel like I've just grown up amongst that paradox, as you said, of all these different angles and spaces, and I think they're all relevant and they're all necessary to find yourself and then be at peace with yourself, which I'm trying to find now.
Hearing you describe the past reminds me of celebratory times. Which is in one of your songs, right?
Yeah.
The best days of our life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's one of my favorite songs.
Thank you. I'm glad.
How did you get to that? How did you manage to capture, like, I guess, a period of your life and communicate it in a short snippet such as a song?
You have to love what you've done, and be unapologetic about it. I'm lucky enough to have loved what I've done, and our friends and family that, have supported me and made me proud, And at the time when I was writing that song, I must have just felt like that. I feel like what I do is literally just a cathartic episode of how I feel, of like ejaculating what feeling onto paper. So that just made how I just felt at the time. And looking back at my life or our life, because I always feel like it's plural, or I wouldn't be where I am without my friends and family. It's deemed for celebration. We've held on to our character vehemently and not let it go, no matter what has built around us or tried to push us aside or ostracize us from each other or isolate us from each other. You're just not really going to get that from us. So I think it's a celebration of bravery between my friends and I. And that's probably how I felt at the time, And, we could be at a low, but you just go to the party and dance and have a laugh. And then look back and say, it's all right,
It's all right.
That's probably how it came from, you know what I mean?
What comes to mind as you speak, Hak, and as you sing and in your lyrics is this word brotherhood.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know if you've seen Louis Theroux's documentary, Madosphere.
Yeah, see a bit of that, yeah.
And I just really would love you to reflect on brotherhood, on that word and what it means right now, because I think we need your perspective on this, Hak, to be frank.
Well, basically, like, none of us are perfect. First of all, I'm not perfect, but all that manosphere is just rubbish. Like, I don't really get how that's being rolled out and winning at the moment, but, again, I feel like it's lack of community, because if people had people to look up to within that reach, they wouldn't be looking up to like idiots online, Men are allowed to be men, but real men know that being a man is being empathetic and in touch with your emotions and close to your friends and being able to have conversations with them and not, looking down at women as items or subjects, So I was raised by women, and again, I'm not a perfect individual, but like, in my eyes, women, I was raised by my big sisters and my mum especially, and my grandma, who I wear on my ring every day. So like, I just brotherhood enables you to survive, basically, and it could be called sisterhood as well. It's all encapsulated in the same terms. My friend Tanani, like, she was like academically a year younger than me, but when I didn't have anywhere to stay and things like that, she was probably the one, she took me in, and, you know, she's probably going through the same kind of things with her family, but washed my clothes and fed me, do you know what I mean? So I have this thing where I feel like I owe my friends and family all the time. And I always try to look to support them as much as I can, and with as much energy that I have spare. So I think brotherhood, again, because it goes back to believing in the person that stands next to you and using them as crutches and being a crutch for them. And I think it's a lifelong job. That's what it is for me.
That's beautiful. Well, thank you for the answer. And I guess community, what happens in my head is we need almost a reason to come together. And I think that's what you so beautifully do through your work.
And your words.
And your words.
I feel like we don't even need a reason. I just feel like it's naturally,
human nature.
like it's human nature to come together. Why would you not want to come together with people? And immediately when I come in here and then we started talking, I can hear our differences, but it makes me intrigued.
Yeah.
Do you know? So I want to know more. Do you know what I mean? I don't see no barriers here. So it's intriguing. That's what life is. You know, we should all learn and talk and share. Like, it's natural.
But is it just natural to us because we are lucky enough to have the consciousness and foresight to look past the, as you say, the powers that be that seek to divide us, whether it's through technology, whether it's through conversational silos? You know, I think a lot of people, unfortunately, have somehow been cut off from that natural instinct to community.
Yeah.
And your music, you know, not to kind of be too fluffy about it, but it does bring people back to that point, I feel.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's our human nature, is to talk and touch and share. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of it now is done on the communication device. Is that what you called it earlier?
The scroll device.
The scroll device, you know what I mean? Yeah, I love that. It's no longer a phone. A phone is like, where are you, mate? Yeah, sweet, I'm coming to meet you.
See
you know
ya.
what I mean? This is the scrolling device. I like that. Yeah, I'm trying to disassociate myself with the scrolling device as well. We're calling it SD, we're going to call it the SD.
It doesn't sound good, right?
But, yeah, I know. But yeah, I hear you, but I definitely feel like it's a generational situation. Now, the younger generation, I feel a bit sorry for them because they don't have that need to feel to go outside and climb a tree or run down the street. They want to live here. But yeah, I guess like if my music can help, you know, spread or alleviate a mind, then hopefully, and so be it. But yeah, I kind of do agree. Like, I feel it's at age, I feel like under 30s, like under 27 or 25s, they're just like, in this place of like this thing where the real joy of life is outside and
Totally
nature and people, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I guess we can all do what we can do to try and, you know, help and spread the word of communication, but it's hard.
Yeah. I wonder if there is a word that summarizes where you feel you're at in your life right now.
Oh God. I don't know if I don't know the exact word. I think like I feel like I'm probably at a turning point of a war. But when someone starts to win a war, I don't know what that word would be, but I guess that's how I feel. I feel like it's been a long journey within myself, and yeah, it hasn't been easy. There's definitely several battles that I've lost, but I feel like I'm winning more of those battles these days. So yeah, I guess momentous, I would say, because I feel like the momentum is turning in my favour. So I guess that could be the word.
That's beautiful. And we have heard that you've got an album that you're working on right now.
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, can you tell us a bit more about what you've been working on?
Yeah, I was shuffling with exactly the ideas of what it was all about. But again, like my friends and my team was very adamant that it was finished, like even at the end of last year. And I was like, it can't be, because I'm changing so fast at the moment, and I'm stepping into a new place at the moment. It can't be. I need to keep recording. So that's when I completely realised I had an idea that it was more of an innate look inside, but then I came to certainty, that was definitely about, this is more of like a very, very personal affair. So that's what it's about, really. And one of the tunes, I think the penultimate tune on the album, with such there's a great geezer. I don't want to. I'll tell you after.
Okay.
I don't want to like release it yet.
Okay.
And it's called "I'm at War," you know. But yeah, it says I say but I'm going to win. So yeah, it's just about myself.
I feel the power of that.
Yeah. You have to be selfish sometimes, you know, and go towards you. As I said, it's always, you know, it's good to give. I said, with as much strength and vitality that you have, and then you have to nurture yourself. So I felt like I really needed to do a project about totally myself.
It's beautiful.
So I can, you know, step into the new shoes that are just outside the door for the next chapter, you know.
Yeah.
Hopefully those shoes will be comfortable. So these shoes will be rocky, I tell you.
Yeah, I love it. It reminds me of your previous album titles, because you have Babylon.
Yeah. These are not albums. I've only had one album, which is Well Done FM, but Babylon...
Babylon was a song, a track.
And it was... Babylon, people call it an album. I say it was a mixtape.
Right, a mixtape.
Yeah,
because I like seeing the story from Babylon the mixtape to World's End. Lost Hope, Hak.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now it sounds like this next album is he slayed the dragon.
Slaying. The war is aggressive. Look at the paintings in the room. The war is happening. But like, I feel I cut one of the heads off. It's got 3 heads.
Amazing. They grow back sometimes.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Sometimes.
They do. So you have to.
But you're on it.
I'm on him. I'm on his back at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the reason I say that is because you have said before in interviews that you like medieval times,
Absolutely.
you like medieval music, you like medieval culture.
Absolutely.
And the hero's journey is very alive in medieval literature.
Yeah.
And so it's beautiful to hear you reflect on it. I actually have a medieval poem that I found for you.
Oh, lovely.
Would you want me to read it?
Please.
Can I? It feels a bit indulgent.
No,
but
let's hear it.
It's one of my favourites. And when I saw you liked medieval poetry, it is translated to modern English, but I would just love your thoughts on it. So it's called Love and the Gentle Heart by Dante Alighieri. Love and the gentle heart are one thing, just as the poet says in his verse, each from the other one as well divorced as reason from the mind's reasoning. Nature craves love and then creates love's king and makes the heart a palace where he'll stay, perhaps a shorter or a longer day, breathing quietly, gently slumbering. Then beauty in a virtuous woman's face makes the eyes yearn and strikes the heart, so that the eye's desire is reborn again and often rooting there with longing stays. Till love at last out of its dreaming starts, woman's moved likewise by a virtuous man.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
I love that.
It's yours.
Oh, wonderful.
There's also some notes on it about, the relationship to love. And I just think there's such an amazing quality in medieval writing.
Yeah, I feel, but they was out there, innit? Like they weren't nowhere to hide. They didn't have no SDs. They had, they would.
SDs.
Okay.
Scrolling device.
So, not STDs, SDs.
They probably had lots of them.
Oh yeah, they probably did. And they had short life expectancies, poor sods. Anyway, but the way they wrote. I owe it all to my English teacher, Miss Starkey. I remember I was lucky enough to have her from year 7 till year 10. So I unfortunately left school at end of year 10, I think. But she always used to read, Shakespearean and medieval text with such prose, and she'd prance around the room and talk and use pitch and tone and things like that. I learned of her so much, and she had the knack to get all the naughty kids, Tommy Flay, Kathy Griffiths, Omar Guled, like to listen.
Wow.
And then she'd give us a chance to read as well, and she'd say, express yourself, She was amazing. She didn't take no rubbish, and if we was ever rude or being naughty, she'd scream out, chuck you out, but then she would never judge you for that behaviour the next day. And you'll be right in. So I owe my love to words and, medieval poetry and all that to Miss Starkey. She was a great, great, great English teacher. I just felt like, they was really into love and romance, probably all that they had to look forward to, didn't have much else. That's the outdoors and love, the three things, the best things. So I guess that's probably why they concentrated and wrote so well, man. It's infectious. That made me really happy. Just talking about love, like we talk about all this rubbish, all these other things and, vanity and rubbish. But it's really only about love and falling in love with yourself and then finding a lifelong partner. And that's what I've finally figured out, you know what I mean? So I won't take I won't like the love that I need and want is exquisite and
Exquisite.
yeah. I won't like settle for anything less, So yes,
That's
it's a
beautiful.
poet. I really enjoyed that poem.
Oh, I'm really glad. I mean, it's beautiful to me how love finds its place in nature, and I think that's also what we've lost slightly. Is that the natural world is in constant harmony with itself.
Oh yeah.
It has the chaos, it has the absolute, the aggression and the violence, but it is in harmony. And it's like, as human beings, I think that's where love guides us, is to harmony.
Yeah.
Are we going to hear some love songs in your new album then, Hak?
There's a love song. I think there's one. Actually, no, there is one, but it's quite sad. But yeah, actually, there's a couple. Actually, there are. I think I actually start talking about my love situations and why my heart is broken in there. So, which is I haven't really spoke about that before. I've always spoke about the magnetic connection between people, but I haven't spoke about my own reason why mine feels like at times just too negatives. But yeah, I think, as I said, things are reverting for the right reasons. And
Definitely. And when I hear a broken heart, what comes to my mind is kintsugi, the Japanese art form.
oh my God, yes, where they break things and then gild it with gold.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
I went to Japan a couple of years ago. I'm obsessed with Japan. It's an amazing place. How do you pronounce it again?
I'm not native.
Kintsugi. I mean, I'm not native either.
Kintsugi.
Kintsugi. Yeah, I love that.
And I think it translates to golden joinery, which refers to how you piece the broken parts of porcelain together with gold.
Absolutely.
And you cherish the brokenness, or you don't deny it. I think that's important.
No, never. Randomly, I was with a Goldie, and he told me about that. He was talking about stuff, and he was like, it reminds me of Kitsugi.
There we go.
Yeah, and now I was like, what's that? And he explained it to me, and I was overwhelmed. It was amazing. I thought, what a great analogy, what great thinking to fix things with gold.
Right.
To make it even better.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's wonderful.
I feel like the Japanese language has so many, and Arabic actually too, has so many. Like Arabic has 20 words for love, I think, and we have one in the English language to summarize every form of love. I think it's where other languages can offer so much more complexity to emotion.
Yeah. I see that Japanese, they have all these amazing phrases and tones, the things that humans just float through, or go through, and they've got these amazing terms, typically Japanese, they always concentrate on the finer details. Suits them.
And it does help when you hear those concepts to kind of express what you might be feeling inside.
Yes,
And when you were speaking about your English teacher, I was wondering whether she was almost giving you tools to express what's bubbling inside.
I think she was, man. She's like a working class lady from like Southeast London. I think she knew the importance of these tools to, cut through life with. And I've definitely used language to communicate wherever I've been. I think people forget, like, obviously words are amazing, but even the way how you use them or elongate them or how sharp you are with them or how you pitch them, is so important, to let someone know that if you love them, you accentuate even the love, make it longer, the L-O, and, let them know, I love you. Do you know what I mean? A bit of gravel on it. Do you know what I mean? So, the poetry of words is just Yeah.
When you add rhymes to it, yeah.
Oh God, yeah, don't. I get that from my dad because like he's got this innate skill where he just talks and he rhymes, and he looks at me and he giggles and he says, "You'll never be better than me." I said, "Yes, I will." You know, he just talks out of rhyme all the time. He's very good. Yeah.
When you talk about words as tools, it really makes me have this visualization of you going through the thorn bushes to find the dragon with your words.
Yeah.
You know, like the words are the way in
Absolutely.
to slaying these dragons and these demons.
The words to yourself are the way to win. You know, you curse yourself daily, then you're gonna. Words are powerful. Spellings are spells. You know, you cast his own spells on yourself. Do you know what I mean? So. And it's like converging the words of goodness towards yourself. It can be wholesome to yourself, and you can start to heal yourself on your own. You know, not always looking for healing externally. You know, it's got to be done internally before you're even able to be a patient to anybody else. So yeah, I've just tried to use the words as kind tools, even though they are weapons for that dragon that I am. You know, currently war we met last night when I was sleeping and all that. But yeah, but it always starts here first, you know.
We're going to take a brief moment to reflect on the word trunk. What comes to your mind?
Trunk of a tree, the trunk of the body, a trunk that you carry items in.
Yes, and all of these meanings, they come from the same Latin origin, truncus, which literally translates to lopped off.
Lopped off?
Yes, I guess the idea is if you think of a tree, and you get rid of the branches, what is left is the tree trunk. And the same applies to the human body, right? If you take away the arms and legs, what's left is the trunk.
So if you take the trunk that you travel with and you remove all non-essentials, what's left with is the core of your wardrobe.
Exactly. So it really asks you, what is worth carrying? What is worth bringing on your next trip? And it is today's word because it is also sponsored by Trunk Clothiers, a wonderful menswear shop
in London,
yes,
in Chiltern Street,
and in Zurich. And they have sponsored the episode and provided this beautiful outfit. So I'm going to get up, but before I do that, clothes, they do connect you to words, or at least for me, because I do feel confident when I speak, when I know I'm wearing something that has this contemporary style. I'm going to get up now, so you have a bit of a better view.
Wonderful. And for all our audio listeners, I will narrate Benjamin Aston wearing a beautiful, almost linen textured blazer from Trunk that looks very dapper and fits him perfectly. How does it feel to wear this Trunk outfit?
Yes, I guess that's the important part.
Yeah.
How does the clothes make you feel? And I feel confident. And maybe one of the reasons is that there is a beautiful pocket for my pen. And it looks elegant.
Suave. You look suave, Ben.
Suave, I guess is the word. And it's not too it doesn't constrain you.
Good.
But yeah, before we get too carried away talking about clothes, let's get back to the words in the episode.
See you there.
I have a lyric that I would like to bring into this conversation. It's from your song, Bricks in the Wall.
Yeah.
Built it so high, I can't see who I was before.
Yeah.
And I was just curious to hear a bit more about this wall that you've built.
It's a pro and a con, you know. Sometimes you use the wall so people can't get towards you. But, you know, the wall that Bricks in the Wall is about a foundation of people and solitude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you build that wall together.
Yeah.
And together you become stronger, you know what I mean? So you have the person who you was before, you don't recognise that person anymore because together you fulfilled each other and made yourself stronger. And that's basically what Bricks in the Wall is completely about. It's like coming together and winning. Come together and we'll come together. So
it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's what we got to do. As I said, you know, propaganda is propagating. It's dangerous. It's very, very, very dangerous, and it's easy for people to just take that up and believe it. You know, we've seen it. It's not a new tool,
no,
but it's a strong and useful tool. If someone pokes you with the same message time and time again, people begin to believe it. But if you come together and communicate, then you can see and feel that that's not true, you know. So that's the use of bricks in the wall, you know, your own foundation. So you don't need to be empowered by rubbish or propaganda. We're in a really bad. It's being used badly at the moment. It's a bad place.
And it can get better, right?
Of course it can.
Forever the optimist.
Yeah.
Forever the optimist.
Are you not optimist?
I'm a little bit, I mean, my background is in activism, you know, so I'm a bit of the like warrior, like I feel it's important to identify.
I hear you.
You know, whereas Ben and it's a beauty. I sort of wish I was much more like.
It's not delusional.
It's not delusional. But also, what I admire about Ben is that he is so precise about how he uses words and I use words. So if I say, you know, the propaganda is, if you say it's that, it's going to be that, Mabel.
Because words are powerful.
I think you both got points. I think I'll sit right in the middle between a pair of you. Do you know what I mean?
Amazing.
Yeah, I was more like you.
Yeah.
Like, nah. But then I feel like if you don't have belief that it ain't going to change, to be fair. But I do feel the change does come with activation. Yeah. Like you have
it's a balance.
We do need some action at the moment. I think there's been a lot of talking and soft protests.
Definitely. And actions do speak louder than words. I am fully aware of that. Yeah. I'm not just out here, but I also think it starts with words, because words for me, they're a reflection of your mental life.
Yeah.
And the foundation that you so beautifully described is what we all need, right? Because how can you feel secure in yourself if you have a shaky foundation? How can you come together and support each other when you don't have the foundation for yourself?
No, I agree. I think it does start with words, but then I think it must lead with action after.
The slaying of the dragons. They're not going to give up just by reciting poetry.
No, they're not. They're not, unfortunately.
Yeah, I do feel like you've spoken about the war from within. And I do wonder do you think, Hak, that the wars that we're seeing externally are a result of the conflict we all hold within us? Do you see micro and macro in that sense?
No, I believe that the wars that we're seeing outside are just between stupid men and ego and old systems that they don't want to let go of. You know, they don't want to see the baton of power being passed over. Change is, you know, constant, and I think there's psychopaths that don't want to let go of what they've had, and I think it's basically as simple as that. Unfortunately, I don't think the wars that we're seeing outside are matters of men's or women's hearts at all. I think it's all up here, and it's all ego, and it's all finance based, and it's just rubbish. And it's sad that people's lives are being spilled for the ego of man.
And on that note, I was going to ask you whether you would have any piece of advice for the men or the men out there, what it is to be masculine, or how can that transition from boy to man be one that supports the wider community?
I think people should start to use the tools that we're blessed with: our eyes, our senses, our ears, feeling, touch, and use that as navigation. If something feels wrong innately in your art, then it's wrong. Don't be swayed by mass opinion or anything like that. If you know something's wrong, then act on it. You know, look for serious, proper leaders that are out there where our senses, you know, we're always looking for teachers. We're never too old to sit at somebody's feet, you know. So I think search that out really, and listen to yourself really, because there ain't no lessons on the phone.
Yeah.
The senses are important. If you see someone that's sad on the street, my innate feeling is to try and help them. I can't stand seeing someone crying or seeing them sad on the street. I have to talk to them and see if I can do anything to help them. If you follow those senses in life, then I don't think you can go wrong.
The senses, yeah. It's beautifully complex how we all experience reality, I guess, in a very different way. Some might be more like visually, some might be more like auditory. And I was going to ask you today, what do you think, in one word, is the language of the universe?
Love.
There we go. That was fast.
Easy,
That was
right?
fast. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you a bit of context. I've been asking this question for about 2 months now, just people from all walks of life. And love has been mentioned about 4 or 5 times, but I have a lot of physics and math, and unfortunately also money was in there, but also connection and music and dance. And what I really enjoy about this question is it's such a simple one. It kind of reveals a little bit about the people behind the answer. And so a joy to hear love.
Yeah, I'm
comes so
obsessed with
fast.
love, I feel like I felt there was a period in my life where there wasn't a lot of it going on, or, you know, I wish I had a bit more. And that was just due to the complexities of life and finance and time and whatnot. So I think, you know, we complicate it a lot, but we realise all the quests and shenanigans that was happening at the time were all quests to find love and belonging. And as humans, I feel we do complicate stuff, and then you tell yourself you don't deserve it, and then you go down a whole nother wormhole, you know, of abusing yourself. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I'm 35 now, and I can look back at things, and hindsight had showed me, and life has showed me what the mistakes are. You can look back that I was making at the time, and you can realise that they was all just quest for love. Love for myself, and searching for something that you feel that you deserve or don't deserve. But now I know that I do deserve it. So back on the horse.
Back on the horse.
Back on the horse, yeah.
There's a really wonderful teacher called Alison Armstrong. I don't know if you've heard of her. Again, another person I enjoy sitting at the feet of and listening to. And she finds it odd how people refer to unconditional love. She says, why do you have to put unconditional there? If it's not unconditional, it's not love.
It's not love, is it?
Where do words fail us?
Oh, in communication sometimes. But silence, as he said, my dad always spoke about the necessity of silence. But sometimes we don't know how to convey how we feel, you know, or sometimes we're scared to release those words. I know at times I've definitely been stubborn and kept the words inside instead of putting them out there to fly where they should be. Sometimes they elude us and we can't communicate how we feel. It's one of the most difficult things, either in fear of upsetting people or fear of pride, you know. Pride is a dangerous thing. But I'd say, yeah, words fail us most in communicating things that we truly, really want to say, and in always suggesting the right of way to other people. But when it comes to yourself, suddenly one can become mute. And you have no words to say. You was given the whole world of advice the other day, do you know what I mean? So I think, yeah, sometimes in communicating what we really, truly feel, difficult. Everybody's scared to get hurt these days, you know?
Yeah.
But even though that's part of it, you know, nobody wants to like dive in and then be just a part of the cosmos and just spinning, and whatever happens, the end result will be the end result. But yeah, everyone's a bit scared of that these days. And I don't think there was in the medieval days.
You have a jewel if you look at my lady wrong.
I think that's kind of righteous, you know. Look at my lady wrong, I'll have a jewel with you. I like that. Anyway, yeah, that's how I think a little bit.
I love talking about love, and I have to sort of stop myself from going back to it. But in the emotion of love, I find words completely evaporate, because it's a force that is so beyond the human mind's capability of communication that sometimes when I'm expressing love, I just think these words are fickle. You're
touching it. That's when
you're touching it. You're like just touching it.
Sometimes, well, again, it's the senses, isn't it? Like this is just one. You know, sometimes you just need to just touch someone, and that's enough. You don't need to say a bloody word. And just say nothing. Don't need to say, or even a smell could ignite like a ferocious heartbeat. You know what I mean? Just and then that contacts the brain, and then that invokes memory or feeling, you know. So yeah, love is like I think a connection of all feelings. I think smell, touch,
senses.
You know, like I think they just set it all ablaze. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's also one thing I've learnt recently is that like love isn't this kind of soft, fluffy thing. Like sometimes loving someone is actually laying down the law and saying, I will not allow you to talk to yourself like that. I will not allow. And it's like we have this misconception, I think, sometimes of love being just soft and Actually, it's a ferocious force.
Yeah, it is. Makes people do crazy things.
Especially in the medieval times.
They raise war. Cleopatra and them and back in the day, yeah.
Didn't Elif write in one of her books that love transforms us?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
And it sounds like you're in this transformation part of your journey. And one word that did come to my mind a bit later is chrysalis.
Wow, what does that mean? I've never heard that.
Oh, this is a good one, Hak.
It's a great one.
Chrysalis.
Chrysalis.
Yeah.
So it describes a caterpillar. It goes into a chrysalis before it comes out as a butterfly.
Yeah,
So-
I'm in the chrysalis, man. I'm in the chrysalis. I'm nicking that, Ben. Cheers. I'm in the chrysalis, definitely. Yeah. I thought that's exactly who I am, mate.
Amazing.
I love that. Cheers, mate. The
Please
chrysalis. Love that.
I'd like to give you another word, Hak, that came to mind too when you were talking about this point in your journey, which is anagnorisis.
Are you what?
Anagnorisis.
Anagnorisis.
Do you know the word
Can you text me as well?
anagnorisis?
Anagnorisis. That's 5 syllables.
Anagnorisis.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I learnt it from Ben, and for some reason, when I learnt it, it just has not left. You know those words that just stay?
Yeah.
It just stays, and it's just that. And it's, okay, correct me if I get the definition or meaning wrong, but it's the point in a character's journey in literature when they're a pivotal point of change, where their trajectory completely changes.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't know if life works like that, where it's one point where something like that happens. Maybe it's like multiple. But I thought about if we were writing the book of Hak Baker's life, it feels like a moment of anagnorisis.
Yeah, I don't think it's like one. I think several things happen, but I do think there is one point, there is a turning point, there is a pivotal point where it goes, right, that's it, enough's enough. And enough's enough. Yeah, 100%. I think there is an anagnorisis point, and he just goes, yeah, I believe that's so great. Chrysalis and anagnorisis, they rhyme as well.
Oh, when it's in the new album, Ben and I will
love
be like...
that. Please text me that word though, because I'm going to forget them in about 6 minutes.
will.
But I love them.
We will.
We'll add them to the postcard.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. And on that note, do you think there is a word in the world right now that we need to bring back? A word that's lost meaning, a word that doesn't...
It's so easy to say love again, but let's not try and do that.
Yeah, we can't just sit
You
around
can't just
for
say
an
that.
hour talking about love.
Okay, you're not going to say love, I'd say romance then. Romance needs to come back.
Yeah.
Like
Calling it back.
100%, like chivalry, romance.
May I ask, when you think of romance, what comes in your life? What was a romantic moment when you now look back on?
Romantic, I call it, or could be a bromance.
It could be, yeah.
When there was a time where I was in one of the flats I was growing up in, probably about 15, 16, and there was no eating, and the window was broken, and it was one of those naughty, cold London evenings, right? And I used to live in this bedsit, and there was just one room, and there was just a mattress, and it was all the boys. Half of the boys could have went home and half of the boys could have went back to their hostel or bedsit, what they lived in. But none of the boys would leave. We would all stay together and we would all like kind of spoon at each other like a tin of sardines and keep each other warm.
Wow.
While there was like a halogen heater that was turning like 180 degrees. And like, for some reason I was awake. I'm always awake anyway, but like it was cold, so that's probably why I was awake. And I just thought, wow, this is true bromance. This is romance of life. This is romance of brotherhood here, because nobody wants to leave here. Everybody wants to like suffer or, feel the same together. Nobody wants anyone to feel less than at all. So that was like a romance of life, a romance of bromance, that moment there of between the boys and I, and I'll never forget it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's a instance of romance. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. That's a wonderful memory.
Yeah, it's a great memory. The boys and I, like, they called it trauma bonding. When,
Trauma bonding.
Yeah, when you're all probably gone through like the same kind of things at home.
Yeah.
And then you bond through things that you're all searching for.
Yeah.
And it happens like in the animal kingdom with like wolves and stuff, like lost wolves, they just bond together because they're all like, and then they make their own pack. And it happens in the street all the time. You know, people that are looking for people seem to see it as like gangs or whatever, but they're misrepresented. And if there was a place for them to go where they could nurture, people would understand that those bonds and packs are full of love, man. They just don't, it's just misguided. And that's why community needs to be brought back, because you may not have a father or a mother figure at home, but you could find a father or a mother figure outside. And that's how people was raised before. They say it takes the village to raise people, young people. And if that key person, that key figure is missing at home, you can find him in someone else's home. Do you know what I mean? And we had all those figures. Like, I love my mum to pieces, but at times we didn't get along. But I had other, maternal figures that I could seek and that would look after me and make me feel nice and give me cuddles and stuff like that. So something's missing in this world again. I'd say I'd go back to community. So necessary to raise good, prosperous young people, so they don't all have to go through the same pitfalls that their father or cousin or someone to the left or right has to go through. It's not necessary. We can all learn off each other.
I love looking at the word community, like common unity.
Oh, lovely, yeah. That's what it is, isn't it?
It is. This is what I actually don't know. Again, we need to do a sort of fact check after the episode if that's the etymology of the word. But the kind of common unity, the thing that we all gravitate towards and around, is a shared thing.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. So our funerals are like that because the whole community is lost sank. Do you know what I mean? As we get older, there's more, we go going to more funerals, and it's just sad that it takes tragedy for a family to meet up, but it is what it is. But like, it's like a common loss in the community, so our common unity has been dissipated a little bit by that death. Do you know what I mean? But we try hard to celebrate it, but that's why funerals always, I try not to miss funerals because they're great. They're a celebration of life,
Yeah, births, marriages, funerals. It's often the only time that many communities actually come together.
Yeah. Should be more, though.
It should be more.
We should bring back the street parties and stuff.
Yeah.
Big dinners on the streets and all that.
Like they do in Italy.
Yeah,
the Italians are great at that.
That should be happening.
Yeah.
People don't even talk to their neighbours and things like that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, those scroll devices, they keep everyone separate. We've been also looking at the word should, and we've been not avoiding it, just being conscious when we use it. Because if we should do something, maybe we could, Nice. I think it's a simple few letters changing and already becomes a possibility.
Could.
Yeah, we could have, say hi to our neighbors. We could celebrate on the street again.
But we should, though.
Exactly, but yes, I see.
Yeah, we have this conversation all the time. We have this conversation.
God,
That was there we go. Boys, most pedantic thoughts. Yeah, I mean, it's part of our intention with the Wodcast. We actually want to start, we're doing loads of live events around words.
So people do ask us, what is the Wodcast?
Yeah.
And we have a podcast, as you're experiencing right now, and we have a live event series where we have one word and we celebrate it. through creative projects, through music, poetry, dance.
Amazing.
And
Let me know
it
about that.
brings me
Yeah,
so
it'd
much
be so great
joy.
to have you perform at one.
Yeah,
maybe.
definitely. Of course, yeah.
It's just
I'd
even
like to
And the
stuff
word
there.
shenanigans.
I love it, of
that would
course.
be so
Absolutely.
good.
When we get to S, because we're going through the alphabet, so
Yeah.
we've done apricity.
May I?
Yes, please.
We start with Ananda. And Ananda, kid you not, is Sanskrit. Okay? And it translates to bliss. And in medical science, you know the endocannabinoid system?
Yes, yes.
Exactly. So we've
Yeah,
got two of the endocannabinoids. I think one of them is called 2-FA, so a very science name, and the other one is called anandamide, which comes from Ananda, because anandamide is being secreted when you experience bliss, which I think is just so beautiful. And the first Wod Live event was around the word Ananda. And oh my God, it was a
So
rooftop
anandamide is being secreted when you experience bliss.
There we go. So I've got a little bit of it going through my system right now.
I could see.
It's the words they go.
They get me. And anyway, so Ananda was the first party. That's how we kicked it off, with bliss. Then we went to apricity, which describes the warmth of the sun in winter. It was a rooftop party in December. The sun came out. It was a bit shy, but it was beautiful. Then we had Arrow,
Yeah.
an event that we hosted in London.
Yeah. And then anthropos.
Anthropos.
This is an interesting word.
Yeah, we were looking for a word to connect to International Women's Day.
Yeah.
Which is a big challenge, a wonderful challenge. And Mabel introduced me to the word anthropos, which describes someone that is fully divine and fully human at the same time. I just blew my mind. So Anthropos was our Women's Day, International Women's Day party.
Yeah.
And that completed the A. So we went to B.
We're going through the whole alphabet.
Yeah, it's got to be an epic life.
26 years.
So how many parties you do in a year then? How many do? So 4 a year.
yeah.
4 is the
So
version.
per letter.
Yes. We got a,
4 parties per letter.
Wow, you've
Yeah.
got
Went
a
for a
prosperous
ride.
career ahead of you.
Yeah.
So at
word-
least 25 years.
May
now,
I
at least.
indulge in the B letters, in the B words?
Yeah,
so we've got
please.
beatitude as our first one.
Yeah.
Beatitude is defined as supreme blessedness. And that party was blessed. Like, it was incredible.
How do you know so much words? Like, why?
Yeah.
How, like, what? Every word you
No,
say. I don't know what they mean. And I thought I knew a little word, and you're blowing my mind. Bro.
It brings me so much joy. I don't know.
Did you study anything? You just like words?
I just like words. I think it's quite
Amazing.
simple.
But also
yeah.
your reflection on them being drugs.
Yes. Okay. So Rudyard Kipling, who wrote The Jungle Book, for example, his quote is, "Words are, of course, the most powerful drug used by mankind." And I see myself as a guinea pig, just seeing how excited.
Drug addict.
Yeah.
Of words.
I do love words. And man, if you start a word of the day series and you keep going every day, like, you get hooked on your own supply, and you just keep searching for like words. Yeah.
Do you have that experience? Do you, with your own words, get kind of hooked and almost addicted
I
to them?
do. I used to write songs. I used to write down words that I found when I was reading. And then I'd say, like, I'll be making music and I'd go through my phone and say, oh, that word. Okay, let me try and, like, spurious I found the other day.
Furious.
What does
Yeah,
furious mean?
Spurious, oh, God. It's like, say things are all like at a playing level and you do the one thing that takes you out of familiarity is spurious.
Oh.
So it's like
Big
being
word.
a rebel, basically. Spurious.
Okay.
Yeah. God, that was, you put me on the spot there. But anyway, yeah, spurious was the right word. Someone said that word to me. I was like, what does that mean?
Mm.
And then I used it like within the song in the next 10 minutes. So I love doing that. I love
It's a
using
joy.
words. Chrysalis.
Chrysalis, man.
And the other one I forgot.
Anagnosis. I'll text it to you. Hak.
Please, yeah.
Tough
yeah.
one to remember.
It's a tough one. And Beatitudes is a beautiful,
Beatitude,
supreme
yeah.
blessedness.
I mean, supreme blessedness. What an epic word. Like, how come it's hidden, you know?
It's hidden. It's hidden in the
Supreme
Bible.
blessedness.
Supreme blessings. I guess birth is like a supreme blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all beatified in that way, right? We've all been...
I beatify you.
Yeah.
You can hear that in our
Yeah.
like a king would say that to
I feel a kind of like medieval short film coming on.
beatify.
Yeah.
Jesus.
After slaying the dragon, you're beatified.
Yeah.
I ain't going to be able to get through the door of all these words now. Chrysalis, Beatitude. What was the first A you said?
Ananda.
Ananda.
Oh, Ananda.
Yeah, Ananda's a good one.
Ananda. Sanskrit. So, I mean,
Sanskrit is
the
fascinating.
beauty of words is they're abundant, right?
There's endless, really.
there's
I make
endless.
up my own words sometimes.
Yeah?
Ooh,
Have you got a word that you made up?
lovely.
I thought, well, I spell it my own way.
You spell it your own way. That's lovely.
yeah.
Lovely.
Lovely. I can't remember any at the master, but I definitely make up my own words all the time. Not all the time,
Yeah.
but I think that's got to be a word, and then I'd say that's a word.
Should be a word.
Yeah, who gives everyone the right, who have made the concise dictionary, the right to say that's a word, and we have to use it. You can make up your own words. Why not?
Do you know how the dictionary was made, Hak?
Absolutely not.
Please.
Can't wait to tell you. So Sarah Ogilvie, who we'll talk to you about in a little bit, she wrote a book called The Dictionary People, counting how the Oxford English Dictionary was made. So it was such a big task that the scholars were like, there's no way we can possibly do this, until one scholar had the clever idea of asking for submissions of words from the general public. Now, who has time to sit down and write word cards where you write the word, how you use an example sentence? Mostly women and incarcerated people. So one of the biggest submitters to the Oxford English Dictionary was a man in a mental asylum who had murdered someone.
Oh, wow.
And he spent every single day just writing words from the books and submitting them to the people that were forming the Oxford English Dictionary and women who were at home at the time.
When did this happen?
Oh, do you know?
Not by
Okay,
heart.
so there's we're gonna have to do a lot
There's
of
a great film.
Yeah, there's a great film called The Professor and the Madman, which is this story.
Yeah.
I recommend you watch it. Isn't that fascinating?
I think you'll enjoy it.
That's amazing.
Right?
But I would never think it was a murderer sitting in a cell writing it down. That's crazy. Yeah, amazing. And the women, obviously. That makes sense.
Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, I find it interesting when new words get submitted to the dictionary.
So new words getting submitted now?
Yeah.
All the time?
Yeah. I think
What was the recent one that got submitted?
Recently
They're all quite depressing words. Maybe
Riz made it into the dictionary.
Riz, for Rizla, right?
No, for charismatic.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like he's got
Riz has made it into... they've got Riz that I heard. They say it all the time on the scrolling device.
Yes, it's a powerful thing.
Riz.
It was the Oxford Dictionary Word of the Year, I think in 2024.
Yeah.
Riz or 2025.
I never even heard it. I thought you were talking about Rizla.
Riz.
Riz.
I'm a bit disappointed in
Yeah,
that.
I agree. Like apricity, for example, is made redundant as a word. How can a word be made redundant?
No.
What do you mean made redundant?
Like if you go to the dictionary,
Fired.
it's just like
You're
obsolete.
fired from the dictionary.
You're obsolete. And I'm like, the sun is still warm in winter. Can I still call it apricity? Am I still allowed?
But then Riz has made it.
Right, Riz made it in.
That's shocking.
And you know, next was AI slop was the word of the year.
What?
Yeah, I think it was AI slop. Like it's been quite
bleak, hasn't
Need some
it?
good words.
Like word of the year was brain rot.
Yeah, brain rot, I think
Like
it was.
love,
Due to AI.
probably.
Yeah. So we need some good words again.
Yeah.
I'm going to get on it.
Like
don't worry.
shenanigans. There you go.
People should definitely be using shenanigans.
Yeah.
Anything, it has to be at least 4 syllables, I reckon, for it to be getting in there. New ones. I love syllables because it makes rhyming more intricate.
So is that how you go about your rhymes? You splice it up?
I love to do that. I
Yeah?
love to rhyme shit like bum 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 bum. What do they call that? That stanza? I don't know. But yeah, I love to do that. I think that gives me great joy. Yeah.
There's something about rhymes that
I don't know what it is.
neither.
But I love rhyme and rhythm and cutting words by using that. I love that a lot. It's one of my favourite things to do ever.
Yeah.
Rhyming is, I think, my favourite thing to do.
And you are a rapper, right?
I don't know. I'd call it, I don't know what you'd call it, man. I don't think I'd call it, dare to call it a poet, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'd prefer that because, yeah, I just like that more. I don't think, I know I can rap, but I find rap easy. I think poetry is more obscure and you don't, in rap there's kind of not rules, but there's kind of a way how to do it.
Yeah.
And there's a way how many people do it. Millions of people do it the same.
Yeah.
But when you're using like a joist of poetry, like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
use imagery in your head. So me, a joist of poetry is like cutting through with words. Like, so it's like, but no, you wouldn't hear that anywhere else. But that's what come to my head, and then that's why poetry is like super unique. So how you put together a set of words? You know what I mean? Not everybody even understands it.
That's
and
true.
they don't need to understand it because it's yours.
I've read somewhere that rap, for some, is also an acronym for rhythm and poetry, which
I've heard that as well.
I really like that connection. Because, poetry is enigmatic sometimes. You don't always understand
You don't always understand it. And poetry sometimes doesn't even have to rhyme.
Yeah.
But
That's
like,
also
as
true.
long as what you're portraying creates imagery, I feel, then that's what poetry is for me. If you can hear like a set of words and it creates an image in your head, then that's poetry, I think. Or it invokes some kind of feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then, like, if it triggers another sense.
Yeah, it touches the senses.
Yeah, then I feel that's what poetry is.
It moves you.
Yeah.
That's what makes you feel alive.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's really
And
beautiful.
when Mabel read me that,
Yeah.
and he was talking about the eye, seeing the beautiful woman, I was just thinking about who's that beautiful woman that I see in my head every day. And then I saw her. I thought, oh, yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
For next time.
Another, okay.
Just on that note, quickly, separate note, I see that you are, as I said at the beginning, completely genre defying in your work. That's what I love about you and your music, is it's creativity at its finest.
Thank you.
And I saw that you've coined your genre G-folk.
G-folk, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, let's get that in the sort of dictionary of music.
I think so, 100%.
Right?
What is G-folk?
So folk, is someone that describes or sings about their time and what's happening where they are, la la la. But G-folk, I just call it like governor folk, really. It's got a bit of bounce to it. It's got a bit of a riz to it. Got a bit of, yeah, and I just think it's quite vicious and it's quite, brutal at times. But it says it as it says it, really. I don't like to beat around the bush. If someone is what they are, then I'll call them what they are. And if something is what it is, then I'll call it what it is. I just think that's what I do, really. I just point out things and say it for how it is, and dress it out with a bit of rhythm and rhyme. So yeah, that's my depiction of G-folk, really. Just giving it a bit of attitude. Yeah, attitude is necessary.
Yeah, I also think folk could really benefit from a bit of attitude.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just a bit. Like, no.
Like, it's beautiful, it's deep, it's reflective, but it's sometimes you want, like, I want a drum, I want the drums.
Yeah. You see the activist in you, maybe. You know what I mean? Yeah.
The heartbeat.
Pacifist too.
Two sides of a coin, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, I've put down my sword. I used to.
Have you?
Yes, I have.
Just checking it.
I put down my sword.
Why?
Because it's not the way to make change, as I think you understand.
Yeah.
It's not the way to do it. The more I believe, the more you fight something, the more resistance you actually create in it.
I agree and disagree.
Yeah.
I agree. I have, but disagree as well because like, I think, especially in the time of now, like, how many times can we keep screaming or talking or conversating about the same thing with no change? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Isn't that apathy though, Hak? I mean, like, not from you, I'm saying that's why. It's like, first, we've spoken with another guest about this age of anxiety, and her fear is that we're now moving into an age of apathy, where we talk, and facts, it's almost laughable what's being presented to us in the world, because like, haha, we're doing this and you can do nothing.
Yes.
And so I feel the need to rise up. I just feel the means and mechanisms of doing it are different, could be different. And that's where I think...
Okay, so what is it then?
Love. And community. Enough people opening their hearts and joining together to create a substantial energetic shift on the planet without getting too esoteric?
Again, I agree.
And disagree.
But disagree. But I hear you.
I don't know. I'm not saying I'm right, Hak.
No, I know, but like I'm just saying that what's it going to take? What's it going to take? Because as you're saying that the powers that be are literally doing things and laughing.
Yeah.
And they think, oh, what they're going to do is they're going to go for a little march stand in Parliament. They're going to do that. We're going to arrest a few of them, then they won't do it again. And they're not going to do anything. They're not going to go without, because we are the generation of consuming everything. So we can't live our lives without. We're still going to use what we want to use. They're not going to do anything because they're too busy being comfortable. Which is true.
Yeah.
So, like, what's it really going to take? Like, we love this. This has been the longest period where there has been a cataclysmic war, you know? So we are in love with this comfort and nobody wants anything to happen.
Yeah.
You know, we're like at nuclear standoff. Everybody's got these things and nothing. And they use them as reasons to let all these things happen in between and no one do anything about it. So either we go without or we go against.
I don't know.
I don't like to
I don't have the
incite
answer.
like attack on anything, but like it does come to the point like what's going to give.
Soft power.
You mentioned earlier that when it comes from the heart, when you're truly listening to yourself, you will find the right answers or the right actions. And maybe that's what it requires, is for people to maybe truly listen to themselves. And whether that comes from slowness, whether that comes from community, whether that comes from medicines that might be not in the mainstream.
Plant medicine.
Plant medicine.
Plant medicine.
Next conversation.
That's our next conversation.
I
wonder. I'm just putting out words. Because I do think, like, if you're fully honest to yourself, you're not going to go to war. Like, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm naive and too optimistic.
It's an hard one.
It's really.
I think it's very, 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 very difficult. The stalemate that we're at. You know, I think it's very, very, very difficult because.
Yeah, I do have a word that I'm not. That I think I know the definition somewhere back of my head, but conundrum.
Lovely.
That's
quite the conundrum.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's quite the conundrum.
Could you please explain to us what a conundrum is?
Well, I used it in my song. I say on a corner waiting for conundrums. You know, I'm just waiting for things that shouldn't necessarily happen or to happen. You know, and that's what we was doing when we was kids, really. But that is the way to describe where we're at, really. It's quite the conundrum. And I wonder what's going to break the stalemate? Is it a frame of mind that's going to happen, like you were saying, like globally, where we go against something so much that doesn't need war, but begins to topple things, or I don't know. Again, quite the conundrum.
Quite the conundrum.
Well, a conundrum is made up of a drum, right? So maybe we just need to have the right beats, or mark to the same.
What's the exact meaning of conundrum?
I don't know, but I just wrote it down. The second part of the word is just the drum. It's just like that.
So is that what you do? Break down words and then go to find like.
I guess it's one of my
or suffixes and stuff like
my
that.
guilty pleasures. Yeah, is to.
I see you writing down little things.
Yeah, just because
to find out.
To keep track of the conversation. We've had some great words.
Yeah.
It's been a wonderful conversation.
Yeah.
I feel we spanned far and wide.
Yeah.
I don't have conversations like this.
You don't?
Not really.
Well, you are welcome anytime to join us, offline, online.
This is the start, like.
Yeah, this is the start, and we love these conversations.
I would love to join you to talk.
Yeah, come over for dinner, Hak.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, we love that.
Also, so.
Yeah.
I love cooking.
Oh, and Mabel's an amazing cook.
Yeah, I love cooking.
Yeah.
It's my expression of love.
Yeah.
Cool. And you can taste it.
Yeah. At home on the table.
Yeah.
I missed that as a kid. That's one of the things I first missed when I left home, was like sitting at the dinner table.
Yeah.
That was always one of the funnest times, most fun times when my mum would join. My mum's hilarious. That was great. Yeah, it was great times.
So we have one final question before we wrap up, which is our closer question of the episode. If there is one word that you want to be remembered by, what word is that?
Empathetic.
There we go.
I care how people feel. I try my hardest to care. And I feel how people feel. Way across the room or way across this town. If I love someone, I can feel like I have that gift to know if they are sad or happy. And I always want to try and do my best to make people happy. I guess that's what my job is really. It's to highlight the common problems or issues or pains or angst of people and say them out loud so people don't feel that they're going through them alone. That's my empathy, that's my love, that's my joy, that's my job. To be a waiter and wait on people. That's what I like to do. So yeah, that's my word, empathy.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Hak.
you. No, appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much.
That was wonderful.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you for joining us today at the Wodcast for our episode with Hak Baker, the musician, the poet, the artist redefining musical genres. I'm so excited to listen to his upcoming album. And most importantly, he reminds us of the importance of love, which I found particularly poignant during today's episode. What did you think, Ben?
I love how he then connected romance to brotherhood and brought us bromance, which I think is such an important concept.
Absolutely.
And the example that he gave, the wonderful memory of him and his bros, I guess,
Yeah.
that really made my heart sing. And of course, shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Yeah.
We all need more shenanigans. And I love the way he described it as cruelty-free fun.
Great word. Great word. So thanks, Hak.
Yeah, thank you, Hak. And if you have any ideas of cruelty-free words, it's such an interesting concept, please share them with us. We also would love it if you could subscribe and follow and like and find all our podcasts in the places and share them. Share with people who also like words. Have some more shenanigans.
Yeah. Oh, and keep your eyes peeled for the upcoming What Live events,
Yes.
where we do hope to see Hak again.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be really fun. And then you could hear some of his music. We'll keep our
And his
fingers
poetry.
crossed. And his poetry.
Yeah.
See you next time.
See you next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.